Whether you're planning on buying a home or whether you've already bought one, or even if you're trying to refinance your home, this video is going to help you to use Excel to map out your mortgage, so it'll give you the best way to pay it off. So in so doing, you're going to help yourself save a lot of time and money. So without further ado, let's get started. What's up guys? This is Joseph Hancock here. Welcome back to my channel. If you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, I strongly advise that you do so. This channel is all about family, health, finances, and today we're going to be covering the latter, which is finances. So I'm going to be taking you into the world of Excel. Now if you're not familiar with Excel, Excel is a program that has been around for, gosh, I want to say 2 decades or so, right? Microsoft put it out. It's a very flexible program. There's a lot of programming that you can go inside of it. You can create formulas. You can let it do all of the hard work. All you have to do is just create some mapping. You can use a spreadsheet so that initially, yes, you have to do the work in setting it up, but then it just kind of does all the work for you once you have it all set up. So guys, I'm going to take you into the world of Excel. Join along, open up your laptops, and let's get started. Alright everyone, so we're going to get started. Let's go to our search tab and we're going to look up Excel. Excel is a Microsoft program, like I said. Microsoft generally allows you to do a yearly subscription, which allows you to use Excel, Microsoft Word, Microsoft PowerPoint. Now I'm going to click on Excel here. It'll take me into the Excel worksheet. I'll click on a blank workbook, and then from there I'm going to blow this up a little bit using this, zoom in button on the very bottom so you can kind of see what we're working with. Okay, so to get started, I'm going to set up a couple rows with input from you. So the way I'm going to do this is I'm going to put down principal. Okay, so principal is the amount that you owe on a mortgage. So for example, if I'm going to buy a home that is $400,000, I'm going to type in 400,000, right? And then I'm going to change this into an amount. So I'm going to click on this dollar sign here and it changes it automatically to a dollar amount. I'm not going to put in cents. I think that's a little irrelevant for this situation, so I'm going to trim it down to no decimal place. Okay, so principal is the amount of money that you will owe the bank. Let's say that you have a certain down payment, so that means how much money you're going to place up front and pay the current owner of the home. So let's say that you're going to do 20% of your principal. So the house is worth $400,000. You're going to pay down 20% of that in cash. Right? So you see these number symbols. That just means that your cell is not long enough. So I'm going to take this and I'm going to drag it out. There you go. Now you can see that you can actually see how much money that is. I'm going to again take that decimal place and I'm going to get rid of it. It's a little irrelevant. Okay, so I have a home that has, and I'm going to change this. I'm going to say the home, like how much it's worth, right? So we'll just put the value of the home value. And then you can see it kind of cuts off a little bit, so I'm going to extend this out. So, okay, so your home value is worth $400,000. You're going to put 20% of that down. Now, to make this easy, I'm going to actually extend this down, and I'm going to put in percent down, okay? Cash down. So again, the purpose of Excel is to make things a lot easier for yourself. So I'm going to put here of 20%. I'm going to change this to a percentage. Let's retype that. Okay, so 20%. So what I'm going to do here is change this 0.2 to 20%. The reason I'm doing that is because I want to be able to modify this 20% at any given time. If I don't have the money for 20%, well, I can put down 10%, right? So let's say I put down 10% instead, now it automatically does the calculation for me. So what I like to do is I like to highlight cells that are for me to modify going forward. So anything in yellow means that we're going to be changing those cells in the future, right? So that one we should make modifiable. This one we'll make modifiable. This one here is a formula, as you can see in our formula box. So I'm not going to highlight that one because it's going to be an automatic output, okay, based on these two values up here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to make this a little easier for myself. Excel is so cool. You can just drag your mouse over, take these boxes, and you can place them over here. Because here I want my outputs, here I want my inputs, right? So let's make this easy. Inputs, outputs. So this is so I can see based on these values that I put in, here's what I'm going to have to be paying and so forth. So you have your home value, you have your cash down, your percent cash down. Next I'm going to put down the length or the, let me see, time to pay off. I'm just going to put it in simple terms and I'm going to extend this out a little bit. Okay, so this is how much time the bank is giving you to pay this off, right? So I'm going to put in, let's say 30 years, and I'm just going to put years here. I can actually modify this cell instead of doing it this way. I can erase that. I can click on this cell here, right click, go to Format Cells, go to this first little tab here, it says Number, go down to the very bottom category, which is Custom. And then you can see here that it has the option of 0. I'm going to type in 0 there, and I'm going to click my cursor right after that 0, press space, put some quotations, and I'm going to put years, and then end quotation. And you can see there that it actually automatically puts it in that cell. Makes it a little cleaner so that you don't have a separate cell that says years, right? So I'm going to press OK. Now you can see it says 30 years. Now if I change this to 15 years, see? It automatically updates, and it's still processing it as a number, as you can see in our formula box. So it's so cool. Anyways, so again, this is a input, so I'm going to highlight it yellow. All right, so we have a home that we're going to buy. It's worth $400,000. We're going to put 10% of it down, and we're going to pay this mortgage off in 15 years. Now, there's one more thing that you guys know that we need. One piece of information that we need in order to calculate a mortgage, and that is our percent interest, right? It wouldn't be nice if we didn't have to pay interest on a home, but you do. So our interest rate, we're going to put interest rate here, and we're going to put it for whatever interest rate. First I'm going to change this to a percentage, right? And then our interest rate, let's say right now it's about 7.5%. It rounds it, so I'm going to bring this decimal out a little bit. So it's 7.5. I'm going to bring it out just one more place because sometimes you can get like 7.25 or something like that. And again, now we're going to highlight that yellow. Okay, so all the yellows is what I need to modify in order to change my output. Okay, so now we're going to calculate how much that is per month. So we're going to type in our formula bar, and we're going to click on equals, and I'm going to put a negative sign because this formula generally spits out a negative number. So to balance that, I'm going to type in a negative number. So for this negative number, for this equation, I'm going to type in negative. PMT is the equation name, and then I'm going to type in open parentheses, and then this is the rate. So you can see your rate is right here. So I'm going to click on 7.5%. I'm going to divide that by 12 because that's your rate per year, right? So on an annual basis, you're going to be paying about 7.5% of that mortgage in interest. Now, I want to find out how much I'm going to be paying monthly, so I'm going to divide that by 12, then type in comma, and then this is NPER, which is pretty much the number of times you're going to be paying, or it's going to be the time length of the loan. So I'm going to click on the 15 years. Now again, it's 15 years. I want that on a monthly basis. So I'm going to multiply that by 12, okay? Comma, and then PV is the amount that you're going to be borrowing from the bank, which is about $400,000, right? Well, it would be $400,000, but it's actually going to be your home value minus your cash down, right? So your cash down is how much you're gonna put up front, which means that you're not going to have to borrow that from the bank. That's the nice thing about paying cash down. If you have the cash, that's great. And if you don't, and your bank allows you to just do with zero money down, then that's great. That's a great plan. But it is always better to get cash down. So I'm going to close the parentheses there and press enter, and I'm going to move this Excel because it's not, I want it lined up over here. So I'm going to move it over here, right? So let's extend it out a little bit, and you can see that there's a decimal place. I'm going to bring that decimal in, so that kind of shows. Now, if you want the decimal there per month, you can do that. And then this will be your mortgage. So it'll be your monthly mortgage payment. And as you can see, it's not going to be big enough for Excel for that. So I'm going to put it here, monthly mortgage payment. Okay, I'm going to extend this out. Alright, there we go. So you have your cash down, and I'm going to bring this to the right side of the cell so it's a little bit more lined up. Okay, so we have $40,000 that we're going to be putting down on this home, and with that $40,000, you can see that your mortgage payment is $3,337 per month. Now remember, that's just the mortgage. That is not the escrow, right? So escrow includes taxes. It also includes your home insurance, and it also includes any mortgage insurance that you are going to have on this loan. So just keep that in mind, that it will not be this amount. It will be more than this, probably by $400 or $500, depending on what kind of insurance you have and what bank you have.